I want to talk to you about my vaccine that I got yesterday. Yeah, I got it yesterday. I know it came out 2 or 3 months ago, but I also know that I was hanging out with a bunch of booger eating elementary school students, five of which who had the row. That's what I call the coronavirus. They had it, like one had it, and then two people had it, and then three people had it. Principal wasn't aware. He didn't shut the place down like he was supposed to. But I'm handing out papers and collecting papers and doing activities with kids all the time. I wasn't scared about getting it. But I do understand that I have a responsibility to the rest of humanity to get the vaccine. So I got the stabby do in my shoulder. A little sore. Here's what happened. I made an appointment for 9:25 down here at the Carlson Center. I go there, and there's two lines. One is the appointment line with about 45 people in it, and the other one is the walk-in line with no people in it. Why did I make an appointment for this? And then I'm surrounded by people who are miffed because they made an appointment. I look behind me. This guy, I'm gonna say he was a Trumper. I mean, he was definitely a Trumper, and he wasn't wearing like a Trump mask or anything, but he was just doing psh, a lot of that, a lot of psh, a lot of that shit. And he saw me looking over there and kind of look over there, and he gave me a psh, and my ammo, whenever I'm around anybody who might be like, this guy was clearly kind of like a conservative guy. You could tell he wasn't into it. The lady in front of me was like a hippie liberal woman from the college. She, looked like that. She looked like she baked bread that morning. The guy behind me looked like he was packing a couple guns. Anyway, whoever I'm talking to, I'm on your side. I'm you. I do what you do. So I was like, this guy's psh, psh, psh. I'm like, I know, man. I made an appointment, and then he gave me one of these. He goes, yeah, I made an appointment too, because we're supposedly the smart ones. He threw out a supposedly. I gave it to him. I wasn't gonna correct him. He probably had a gun. So I was like, yeah, I hear that. Smart ones, and here we are. And then the lady in front of me, the bread bacon, gray-haired East Coaster, she turned around and said, well, thank you boys both for being here. Like, why are you listening to us, and why are you thanking me? You're here. I'm not thanking you. Am I supposed to thank you for being here now? Turn around. Turn around. That's what I wanted to say, but I said, oh, yeah. She gave me one of those. I give it back to her. Anyway, so long line, waiting. And then they have these little things you got to fill out, this registration. I was set up for the appointment, but they're like, before you go to your appointment, you have to register for your arrival. Sounds simple. Okay. So I'm pressing buttons on my phone to register for my arrival. And it comes up to like, what vaccine do I want? Do I want the Moderna or the Pfizer? Like, gosh darn it. I didn't research this. I don't research things. I don't have like the gumption enough when I'm going to buy a car or buy a computer or buy something. I don't go through the rabbit holes of like finding out what it is and then buy it, the one that is better, according to my research. I always buy it first and then research and see the mistake I made. That's what I do. So I didn't know what to do, Moderna or Pfizer. And Moderna sounds like, to me, it kind of sounds like a Tupperware company, or maybe like a cookie, a Moderna cookie. You ever had a Moderna? But and then Pfizer. Only thing I know about Pfizer is it's the one that makes Viagra. They make Viagra. That's what I know. And Viagra's like, they're like the Kleenex of erection pills, right? Everybody knows Kleenex, and you don't have to doesn't have to have the word Kleenex on it. It's just a tissue. But now, if you get a pill for your erection, it's a Viagra pill. Whether there's a bunch of brands, but it's all Viagra. So I'm like, I'm getting a Pfizer because I know that. And I was halfway, dumb joke, halfway scared that if I got this shot, get a stiff arm. Bad joke. Anyway, so I'm like, Pfizer, cool. And then they go, do you want it in the right arm or the left arm? I'm like, you come in with me all these freaking decisions. My thought is, hey, look, I'm a big believer in placebo. Placebo, the magic that happens when you're given a sugar pill, but the other guy's given something, you both get cured, but you did it with your magic mind. It's a thing out there. Like the medical field knows about placebo. They have it built into their studies. So double blind experiment, procedure, clinical test, whatever. But with my relationship with the placebo effect, what I do is I just tell myself it's going to work. I don't have to do any trickery, or do I have the sugar pill or the right one? I have a shoulder issue going on in my left shoulder, rotator cuff, something, ligament, went flying off. I was like, put it in the left shoulder because I just like told myself it's gonna fix my rotator cuff. I gotta say, I got a lot of movement today. I think I fixed it because I said left shoulder. So then I'm waiting in line. She goes, "Go to line A, please." And there's line A, B, C, D. B, C, and D are just like filled with like 6 or 7 people in each one, and then A is just empty. I'm like, "Go to A." And I'm just like, "Okay," and I cut in front of people. The liberal lady, Trumper. He didn't want to fill out his paperwork, so he got stuck in the line back there. He's like, "I don't have to. I brought my ID. What else do I need? You're going to make me put it on my ID." And guess what, buddy? I'm over here and you're over there. You got to comply sometimes. Press the buttons. Anyway, so I'm in A. I'm in A line. And everybody else is like, well, that guy just went in front of all of us. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm cool. Then I'm kind of looking. There's somebody in the little curtained area that I'm going to get my shot in. And there's like 5 people in there. And they all come out together and they're all huddled around this like disabled person in a wheelchair, and they're kind of like bringing her out. So this was like one person getting the shot that had a lot of support. Then I'm like, well, am I in the handicapped line? They just shoo me over here because I look funny. I didn't know what was going on there, but anyway, it gets clear. I'm next in line, and the nurse who's in there is going to give me the stabby do. She looks right at me, looks out, and then turns her back to me. And I'm like, do I go? What do I do? She didn't say, hi, I'll be with you in a minute, or like, come on in, or anything. She just kind of like looked at me and then turned around. I'm like, okay. So then I'm kind of like, okay, I can figure this out. This isn't too tough. I just wait till she calls me in. Or is she waiting for me now? I didn't know. It was irritating. So she finally looks over her shoulder and says, you can come in. Oh, okay. So I come on in, and then we go behind the blue curtain, and there's 2 chairs, one on the right, one on the left, and she's like doing whatever she needs to do, and she's looking at me, and I knew I was supposed to sit, but I didn't want to sit. I was like, I'm in her space, it's like her house. You got to invite me to sit, right? I'm not just gonna sit down. And she goes, do you want to take the shot standing up or sitting down? And I said, sitting down. How about this chair? I made the call, and I sat down in that chair. And then I saw the weirdest thing. The outside of her little office, there was a blue Tupperware bin thing. It was like a blue plastic bin, like primary colors, like the type of thing in my classroom that I store sporks in, for hot lunch. You get your spork. It's just like a bin. And this guy came up to the bin, kind of like put his hand through it, rifled it up, got a little gauge for how many things were in there, and then put them back in and said, yeah, we need one over here. They were all syringes with the vaccine in it. Just sitting out like it's a freaking buffet. He just like picked them up, like, well, getting a little short over here. We need them. We're running around for 1.5 years with masks on and like Clorox in our freaking groceries. And this guy's fingering the freaking vaccine syringes. It was just like they were Legos. They were just like, man, here they are. And I was like, well, he's going to, and then she grabbed one after he walked by. She grabbed one. And I got a tattoo right here of a smiley face. And I said, trying to make her laugh because she pissed me off, but I said, put it right between his eyes. And she's like, I'm going to go to the side of his head. All right, whatever you want to do. So she stabbed me, did that, and then I kind of just walked out. She didn't even say, you can leave now. She just said, here's your card. You're going to come back in 3 weeks. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go now. She's like, yep, 15 minutes. Okay. So I go out to the waiting area where there's there was a bunch of chairs. You got to wait out there for 15 minutes. And they have a couple tables set up with a couple people at each table. And the table that's set up first when you come out has all kinds of like prizes, little participation trophies that you got your vaccine. There's Frisbees, there's balloons, there's stickers, there's a selfie station. All this fun stuff. You can go out with a flag and you just, I got vaccinated. And then next to it was a bunch of granola bars and like water bottles and juice boxes and peanuts, little snacks and stuff that you could have because you feel lightheaded because you got a stabby do. And I'm like, there's snacks over there. If that was in my pantry, I'd be having like 4 of each one. But I'm in front of a whole bunch of people, just like they're all faced at the snack station and they're spaced apart. And there's a big old room of them. They're all like looking. So if you're like going out there to get a pretzel or something, you're going out and you're getting the pretzel and everybody sees you getting the pretzel. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit back for 15 minutes and watch everybody else get their pretzels. And I'm sitting there and it's kind of weird, what people, this one couple, they came in, they had a little boy with them. They went up to the prize station. They got a frisbee, turned it upside down, and started loading things up like they were at an all-you-can-eat buffet. They came back to their seats. They each had a frisbee upside down with stickers and popcorn and peanuts and juice boxes all over it. And they just sat there and made a little family meal out of it. It was great. And I saw the Trumper. He finally made it in, and he huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed. And he didn't take no pretzels. He didn't take nothing. He just sat there and looked pissed off. Then I saw the lady in front of me who was woke. She, by the way, why is woke a thing? Why is woke a thing? Okay, if you guys are so woke and like you're woke enough to call out a person when they make a joke bad, why are you not woke enough to understand grammar? Okay, you're awake. You're not freaking woke. What is this? It's like if I stood up, then I'm standing. I'm not stood. Yeah, I'm stood. That guy is stood. That guy's stood. Oh, that guy's sitting. No, it's what is this woke? Anyway, she picked up as many stickers and little balloons and frisbees as she could. She just wanted to tell the world that she was vaccinated. She thanked me for coming. It was weird. It was weird. Like, am I supposed to thank you back? I don't know. Anyway, hey, I got the stabby do. Get another one in a couple weeks. I'm not contributing to the problem anymore. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Stay awoke. Stay stood. Be good.